Hey guys, this is Speedy here. So I'm just on my way off from work. I'm actually going to try a little technique out here, and hopefully I'll be able to describe it to you very well. Basically, tonight I think it's what was the forecast? 3 degrees, and as you guys can see, fall is right here now, for sure. It's really starting to kick in. So yeah, I mean it's pretty cold on my hands. And these gloves right here, uh, they're warm from 5 degrees onwards, but any colder than that, the air just, I don't know, the humidity. We live in just such a humid climate here in the Toronto area. It just seeps right through these gloves. So I'm going to try a little technique. I know this looks absolutely silly, but these are, what do they call those things again? Surgical gloves? What the hell do they call them? They're vinyl gloves. You can also do this with latex gloves, and who knows, it might be a cheap solution to giving your hands an extra couple degrees. Basically, the idea is these gloves, they trap, they don't let air get through, right? Like, the whole idea is they're not breathable, since they have no air holes in it. Like, they're designed to clean. They have no breathability. And these gloves are not supposed to have much breathability. They're supposed to be for cold weather. But there's some air that does come through, and you feel the cold. So it feels a little tight, but the whole idea. Oh God, this is gonna be hard to put on. The whole idea is, yeah, to keep your hands warm. Oh, for God's sakes. Okay, there we go. And to keep the heat trapped in. Okay, a little bit tighter. I'm the worst when it comes to putting on gloves, guys. Like, it takes me 20 fucking minutes to do it. Oh my God, 20 minutes, literally. Get in there, girl, get in there. Guy, whatever you want to call it, just get in there, get in. Jesus. This feels a little weird. Oh, I got the wire there. Okay. This does feel a little weird. Obviously, this is just a short-term solution. I'm hoping to get some heated gloves in the future. But in the meanwhile, as I wait to see if the price goes down, the gloves I want specifically, this will have to be a temporary solution. I actually find it hard to put the gauntlet on but you know what? A lot of it too is how you put on the gauntlet, you know. You want to trap as much air out of there as you can. Okay, well, my bike should be heated, and we'll do a little test. I'll see you guys in a couple minutes. Today we'll be doing a talk work, and it's about riding in cold and rainy weather. So fall riding, really, for the GTA area. Okay, so so basically this video is going to be talking a little bit about the misconceptions of riding in wet and crappy rain weather, which it probably is. Yeah, it kind of is right now. It's going to be a little bit about the misconceptions of it. Somebody's going slow. Yeah, it's going to be about the misconceptions of it. This guy's going way too fucking fast though. So there's going to be a little bit about the misconceptions. So about the misconceptions, and also, is riding in the rain and wet and cold different, combination of all this? Is it different than riding in, let's say, the summertime when the roads are clean? The answer to that is, well, number one, for people who've never ridden a motorcycle, who think that if you're riding a little in wet roads and rain, you're instantly gonna like just fall off the minute you get on the road. It doesn't exactly work that way. It doesn't work. Yeah, like if you ride in the rain, it doesn't mean you're instantly gonna fall off or that it's like this extremely dangerous thing to do. But there are several factors. Like it is dangerous to an extent, but it's not as bad as a lot of people who've never ridden motorcycles think it is. It really isn't. The number one, the thing you have to keep in mind when you're riding in the wet, a lot of it, first of all, I'd like to say you want to have a little bit of confidence if you're going to be riding in the rain. And I would like to first off say I'm not an incredible expert on riding. I've been riding for a little over a year, but I've ridden a lot of crappy weather because in the Toronto area it rains a lot during the spring and fall, and like I ride basically every day, so like I commute on my bike, like I'm an everyday rider. The only time I don't ride is during the harsh winter months, like part of December, January, February, when the temperature's like -10, there's ice and snow everywhere, then I don't ride. But yeah, I mean, really it's, but yeah, I mean, okay, you keep a fucking, stay there. Yeah, well, that's one of the things you got to keep out for. I mean, my main concern, you see, my main concern when they come off from roads like that, sometimes they don't go in the first lane. But yeah, first of all, if you're gonna be riding in wet, cold weather, keep in mind that number one, most drivers are not gonna see you, are gonna not see you even more than normally, because they think that just because it's raining, you're gonna go hide away your motorcycle. Like they don't. That, and a lot of drivers don't actually know how to drive in the rain, especially here in the GTA. Like, they ride, they don't realize how much their stopping distance is really reduced, and they don't understand that a motorcycle has quite a bit of braking power. So when they follow close in the rain, they're, you know, that's a very dangerous thing. If that happens, either pull over, let them go just because they're clueless, or if you can, change lanes and just let, like, because that is really dangerous. Don't ever let someone tailgate you in the rain. Another thing to keep in mind too is when it's cold, especially, and wet, you have to keep in mind your tire, a lot of it is the tires too. Like, your tires aren't warm, so you don't have that as much of an incredible sticky traction as during the summer. It's not like you're instantly gonna fall off, it's just that you don't have as much traction, and you have to keep that in mind. So when you're accelerating, try to do it slower than you normally would. Take it more gradual. And when you're turning, don't lean over as much, and do it at a slower speed. And like, do it at a slower speed, and try to keep your bike in a higher gear. Like, normally on this thing, I'll turn on an ideal road when it's not soaked in second gear. But when the roads are wet and when it's raining, etc., I'll just do it in third gear, so that way my revs are a little lower. Obviously you don't want your bike to like chug, like be like but you want to keep them kind of low, because it's not, because a lot of the times when you're coming out of a turn, I'm guessing this is an even bigger problem with the bigger bikes, that transition from coming from a lean to accelerating is a big chance that's the chance where you're actually most likely to fall off, or you're likely for your wheel to slide under you. So yeah, just keep that in mind. Take your turns slow, just take your time. Just in general, when you're riding, take your time. And when you're turning, and also another thing too, to keep in mind when you're riding in the wet, try not to brake hard if you can, and try to use mostly the back brake. So keep, obviously, because your distance is reduced, your braking distance, you want to keep more distance, and your traction's reduced as well. You want to keep your distance for that. But the thing is, your front brake has a lot of braking power, and you still want to use it, but the back brake is kind of your stabilizer brake. Is the brake that stabilizes it stabilizes your bike actually. Like even in the dry, if you're to just slam the front brake, that's very dangerous. You could easily get ejected, because you're gonna go like that, and you can lock up. Your back brake is your stabilizer brake. Even though it doesn't have a lot of braking power, it helps to stabilize. So you want to use that. Another tip too is try to use engine braking. So meaning let your revs drop, downshift, without using the brakes too much. Like just tell them you're braking. Like let's say the light's red down there, just go like this. Brake a bit. And just downshift, and then if you're good at rev matching, you can rev like that. It is a bit of more advanced technique, but it does prevent you from locking up your rear wheel. So yeah, by all means, if you have to brake, but try to take your time when you're braking. Another thing to keep in mind too when you're riding in rain and cold is your visor might fog up, and that is dangerous. Like right now it's fogging up a bit. The worst really is at the night, because you got, obviously because it's dark, it's harder to see already. Then you've got your visor steaming up, and then you got the water droplets coming down. A tip to keep your visor from fogging up when you're moving slow and you're at lights, try to keep your visor open just a little crack. There's some cold air like this. There's some cold air comes through, and then not enough to get your face soaked, just enough to let the air through. And another tip, when you're if you're riding in crappy conditions, another tip too, for water droplets, it's really bad, but it's windy, just turn your head. A lot of the droplets will actually come off that way. And then another thing you can do too, if you got one of those little gloves with a squeegee, like I do, just go like when you're stopped or there's not too much traffic around. Don't risk your life there. Just if you can. So yeah. But anyways, guys, I mean that's pretty much it. Riding in the rain. It's not some sort of magical, incredibly difficult thing. It's mostly taking things slower. That's all. And watch out for that crap. Another thing, another tip too is wear waterproof gear. Don't get soaking wet. Try to wear something that at least keep you like 90% dry. So that way you can focus on the road and stay warm. Polar fleece is a good tip also to wear underneath your clothes because it really wicks off the moisture. And for the cold, like real cold near zero, I would say, you know, if you can, go for some heated gloves, really. Those are really, or heated grips even. They'll definitely make your ride more enjoyable. So anyways, guys, if you're asking about my hands and how they're feeling, well, it's been, what, about 20 minutes now I've been riding? 25 minutes? I still feel some cold on my fingertips, even with these latex gloves. But it is a little bit better, especially the back of my hand, like the top of my hand, like where my knuckles are, they don't feel as cold. My tips, though, still feel a little frosty, but it definitely is a little bit better than nothing at all. But yeah, I mean, if you guys really want to try it out, you can try it out. It's just a little uncomfortable. But as I said, I hope in the future to get some heated gloves. And thanks, and of course, thanks guys for watching this video. I hope for newbies especially, who might be paranoid of riding in the rain, and you know, oh my god, you'll pass out instantly. Or even if you ride and it's been sunny and then it turns to rain, well, you know, you have to know what to do in those kind of situations. So, yeah, I mean, it's, you know, I hope this video has helped you out. Like I say, I'm not a professional. I've only been riding a year. But this is just from my own observations, what's to look out for. Anyways, thanks guys for watching. I hope you enjoyed it, and see you next time.